Okay, I'd like to talk to you about praying with people. Praying with people is loads of fun. Sometimes it can be a little bit scary. Now, I was actually at a cafe, it was a few years ago, and this guy walked in and I knew I needed to talk to him. I was a little bit afraid and I was just getting up from the table. So I sort of walked around a little bit and was asking God, what do I do? What do I say? Now this guy ordered his coffee and came and sat back down at the table that I had been at, and I just knew I needed to go and speak with him. So I did. And I just said, I know this may seem a little bit strange, but when you walked into the cafe, I felt like God say that I was to speak to you. And he was like, does this happen very often? Anyway, I had this really cool conversation with him and I felt like I was meant to pray for him. So I offered. He thought that was a little bit weird, and I said to him, don't worry, we can just sit here just like we are now, eyes open, just in the same kind of conversation, and I can pray for you. So I just looked at him and I prayed for him, and as I did, he said, I can feel something tingling down my spine. And I said, that's a touch from Jesus. Now that's one of the stories that you could have. I want to give you just a few tips though to help you. You don't need to be weird. You can just be in a normal conversation. You don't even need to shut your eyes, and they don't need to either. It just depends the kind of circumstance you're in. I know sometimes people like to put their hands on people to pray, but that can also be a little bit weird. But if it's appropriate, you could say, can I put my hand on your shoulder? Or maybe could I just hold your hand or touch your hand as I pray? Sometimes people will get a feeling from the Holy Spirit when you do that, but the Holy Spirit works regardless of you touching them or not. And you can just pray a short prayer just as God leads you. Don't be afraid. There's one more tip though that I'd love to give, and that is a lot of people don't even know how to say something to God. They don't know how to communicate. You can simply call it talking to God, and you can help teach them how to do that. Just simply say, Dear God, and then talk to God about what you need or what you need to ask Him. Help to teach people. Just say things like, why don't you pray now? And help them along the way. You'll do amazing. Why don't you give it a go?